Okay, Keith here. Got some questions about some of the chords, can't see it. So I made a chart, and this is kind of like supplemental to some of the lessons. So I'll add some of those things, try to add some color commentary and make it a little bit easier. You know, because I know it's hard to kind of see what you're doing, but I did that on purpose, to be honest with you, so that you learn to listen and try to emulate what you hear. It's a good way to learn. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth the effort, especially if you're just starting. But anyway, you know, there's all sorts of chord charts. Now, look, I made these. I can write these out in 5 minutes with a pen and paper, and chord diagrams and some other things I'll show you here. Or I could work with Sibelius, and it would take me, you know, 3 hours to get the first chord in correctly, because then when I go back and try to do it again, I forget how to do it. So I just scratch them out on paper. It's just so much easier and so much quicker. So forgive me. But now, to learn a couple basic chord forms, there's no rhyme or well, there's rhyme or reason to it. These are just some basic ones that I thought would be interesting to learn first, that I put in the video about chords. And, you know, there's kind of a progression to learn chords, but at first you just got to start grabbing some. You know, we did some open string ones. I don't think you need charts for those. But when we start getting into what I call the 6th-string root chords and the 5th-string root chords, I did make a little chart here to make it a little bit easier so we could slow it down a little bit and so you can take a look at them. This G, you've probably seen this bar chord quite a bit. If you look at the chart there that I got up, you know, if you're going to play it in G, the G is on the 3rd fret of the guitar. So the G on the 6th string tells you the name of the chord. This would be a G major form. Now, wherever you move it, obviously, it changes the letter name of it. But you can see the G is circled, telling you the root. You're going to bar there with your first finger across all 6 strings. Then you put your 3rd finger on the 5th string. Put your 4th finger on the 4th string. Put your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, and then the last 2 bar. And again, the 2nd finger is on the 4th fret, and the 3rd and 4th finger is on the 5th fret. Okay. Now to go to a minor, you just simply, if you notice, the only thing you did was lift up your 2nd finger, and you get a G minor. And again, that obviously, I think everyone understands. They're all pretty much movable now. And the nice thing about these forms is you lift up another finger and you get a minor 7th form. And if you put your 2nd finger back down, you get a dominant 7th chord. And there was in the video I showed you another way to play it. If you can get your pinky in on it, on the 2nd string, and it's not in the chart there, on the 2nd string, which in this case would be on the 6th fret. So that was an option. I showed you just some other basic ones. I showed you the major 7th, which you may come across. Now with this, I probably didn't tell you in the video, we were learning it at first, is you got to mute the 5th string. Don't play the 5th string. You could actually play the 1st string, but most times it's muted because that F sharp is in the chord, but most folks just play it like that, which is fine. You can do it that way too if you want. You have to get your 1st finger to get the 1st string back a fret, but don't worry about that. If you just get it like that and you're able to move that, it's kind of a pretty chord. Then here's the charts for some 6th-string root chords again, or 5th-string root chords, I'm sorry. You put your first finger on the 5th string. In this case, I have it on. Well, let's move it up here. Well, no, there. I guess it's easier to see here. There's the C, and then you skip a fret, you bar the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, and that gives you a C major. Of course, that's movable. And again, you go through the same process with the other ones. You just start moving fingers around. Okay, and this one, you just lowered the C to B flat. So you got to refinger the bar. You got to put your 3rd finger on the G. You can see the 3 means put your 3rd finger there, and the 4th finger on the 2nd string. It'll give you the C7 sound, and of course that's movable. And this note here is going to tell you the root. This is F7, and this is C7. So let's go back there. If you move your 4th finger up a string and put your 2nd finger down, you're going to get the minor form there. And again, all movable. Okay. And you know, I gotta write a little couple exercises to practice changing these, maybe some basic blues and stuff. And I'll do that for you if you can't find any on the internet. A minor seventh, again, you can see the fingering there. 1, 3, and the bar gets that one, and then 2. And you want to kill the first string and the sixth string. Now, in this case, if you're on G, if you bar the whole thing, then the notes aren't wrong. But that's a little muddy. That down there makes it a little bit muddy. And the guitar sounds an octave lower than written. So, you know, but sometimes the first string is included, actually quite a lot of times in that voicing and in all those voicings. So I have an X on them, but you can actually play the first string. The bar will capture the note that's necessary. That doubles. Major seventh's kind of a nice, pretty sound. And again, if you want to put the first string in, you can if you like that sound better. You're doubling the fifth. And just because I had room on the chart here, I showed you a minor seventh, flat 5. So you kind of take a minor and lower the fifth, and you'll come across that every once in a while. Sometimes you'll hear that called a half diminished seventh. So if someone says C minor half diminished, it's a minor seventh, flat 5. And another one that may get you balled up a little bit every once in a while is a diminished seventh. And again, we'll get through all these complex, not complex, but kind of different chord forms in a structured way. But for now, you know, here, I just gave you a couple to learn. This is C diminished. Any note is the root. So this is C diminished seventh, it's F sharp diminished seventh, it's A diminished seventh, and it's E flat diminished seventh. So it has 4 different names, and the reason for that is it's made of all minor thirds. If you go back to the major lesson or the theory lesson and look at the intervals, so it repeats every third fret. Okay, so it's a good one to know. It gets past some folks every once in a while. Then I wrote out the pentatonic patterns that we were memorizing. I wrote them 2 ways. This is the first way. This is just simply the fingerings. Now the arrows were probably unnecessary to show you that. Here's the root. So if I start here, this is a G pentatonic. Okay, if I play it on the 3rd fret, it's G pentatonic. And when you're messing with them a little bit after you go through and practice in good time, you know, you can try to pick them up a little bit and experiment with them, okay? Now, if you want to keep playing them in G, okay, you got to make this the 2nd degree of the scale. So to do that, this is on the 5th fret, and on the next diagram, I'll show you that. But for now, just kind of know that. And this is how we practiced them in the video. Okay, and that fit over this caged pattern, right? Okay. Then if you put the 3rd, which is G, A, B, if you start on the 3rd, you can just go ahead and play that pattern. So then you have your G scale here, your G scale here, your G pentatonic here. Then we went to the next one, okay? You're going to start on the 5th, right? Do that one. And then the last one, kind of everybody knows, or maybe not. It's the 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3. A pattern. They always play it in triplets. You'll always hear every sax player always play it like that. So there's a chart. I hope they help you a little bit. That was one way to learn them. A little bit more clear. In case you were having trouble with that, is I wrote them out in when I used to give a lot more lessons, I wrote them out in, let me get this a little bit bigger, make it a little bit easier to see. This was a common way I used to write them out with notes. So these were the pentatonics written out with notes, and it makes them quite easy to see. So you can see there the first note is G. If you know the names of the notes in the staff yet, and we'll get to all that, but it says there underneath that note, it says 6th string, 2nd finger, and the fingers are kind of recommendations. 3rd fret. So that would be here. Then it says 5th fret, 4th finger. Then go to the 5th string, see the 5, 1st finger, 2nd fret, 4th finger, 5th fret, okay? 4th string, 1st finger, 2nd fret, 4th string, 4th finger, 5th fret, then 2nd string, 1st finger, 2nd fret, then the B is your, well, that's probably actually better 3rd finger, not 4th there. So I got to fix that. Okay. So 3rd finger, 4th fret. The fret's right. I just put the wrong finger down. The D is on the 2nd string. Okay. 2nd finger, 3rd fret. The where am I at there? The E, yeah. The E is on the 2nd string, 5th fret, and then G and an A. Now, it's exactly the same as the one we just played, only it's really clear without that mistake of the 4th finger there. Okay, yeah, I definitely wouldn't play 1-4 there. That wouldn't make much sense. Now, if you go to the next one, again, it's going to be A, B, and it says fret 5 and fret 7 on the 6th string. Then again, on the 5th string, again, it's 5 and 7. Then on the 4th string, it's fret 5 and 7 with 1 and 3. Then on the 3rd string, you got to go back to the 4th fret, okay, and then come up to the 7th fret with 1 and 3 to get the next 2 notes. Then to get the E on the 2nd string, you go down with your 1st finger. On the 5th fret, you go up to the 8th fret with your 4th finger to get the G. Then down to the 5th fret with your 1st finger to get the A and B. So I wrote them out like that. It makes it really clear, and you can see the rest of them here, how to play them all. And you can go through these. Now, again, they're exactly the same patterns. It's just written out a different way in case you weren't clear with the other patterns. So I hope that helps you out. Let me open up the last one, which is usually the one everybody knows, by the way. I should have made it into one thing. And there's the one everybody knows. If you start on the 6th degree, maybe I shouldn't take for granted everybody knows that, but that's usually the first one you learn, or watching people practice that all you are. Okay, so all sorts of good stuff to practice. Learn the scales, and I hope that clarifies them. I'll try to put some more supplemental things up, especially how to change chords and scales, and common things that always occur with chords. 1 going to 4, 5 7 to 4, flat 7 7, all that stuff. So I encourage you to go back and go over the lessons and write your comments and whatnot below, and any questions, and we'll talk again tomorrow. All right, thanks a lot. This is Keith. Bye bye.